The cup was called the Sportsman of the Year Cup, and because Brady had a high sports profile, it was held in high esteem. And I didn't know my name was going to be called out as the winner that particular year. And when I went up to receive it, the words that were used stuck in my mind, and that's why I'm particularly pleased to talk about the photograph, because I thought that maybe I'd got the cup because I was good at football and represented Brady at football, and there was something called the AJY, the Association of Jewish Youth, and I'd been picked to represent the AJY team in games against other Jewish leagues, in Leeds, for example. And when they read out the reasons for voting for me, it really surprised me because it was something that I hadn't realised. They said I'd taken part in every single sporting activity that Brady runs. And then they went through the list, which was table tennis, drafts, chess, road running, athletics, football, cricket. And I realised that the range and breadth and depth of sporting opportunity that was at the club was really tremendous. And that stuck with me in my head for the rest of my years. So at the age of 80, I can now recall something that was presented maybe 65 years ago. When you think about it, the number of boys who were in the club, the number of competitions that there always were, let alone camp competitions and foreign holiday competitions, everything you got a cup or a medal for. It was a very important part of how Yogi ran the club, and this comes through also in the Brady magazine. The Brady magazine is all about the individual members, and they're all named, and all the people in all the teams and all the activities that were undertaken, and where the C team for drafts came in the AJY competition, and who was in that C team. A really critical part of his whole philosophy. The idea of you never leave anyone behind. There was an ethos that was never spoken about in the club, that every single person was important. For example, elections were held for club captain, and the people who were standing for club captain had to literally go and make sure that every single one of the 200 plus people whose names were on the subs list were contacted and had their vote and voted for them. Right to left is the photographer from probably the East London Advertiser. The local paper would have sent someone. Then there's a guy called Cyril Cornfield, who changed his name to, I think, Cyril Kay after I'd left the club, but he was a manager, a volunteer. Then there's Yogi. Then there's Monty Richardson, who was another volunteer manager. Then there's a guy called Harry Mitchell, who was very, very involved with the club. I don't know who it is presenting the cup to me, but he was a dignitary of some kind. And there's a chap with a pipe, and that could be anyone. I don't recognise the hand or the pipe. The cup was for me to keep, and there's a most amazing story about that cup, because I kept it. When I got married, it was in my garage, and my late wife ran over it one day as she was parking the car in the garage, and that was the end of the cup. But the actual trophy was a menorah, which you light the Hanukkah candles in it, and you only kept that for 1 year, and you then gave it back for the next person.